Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful and life-changing books ever written, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. This book has helped millions of people find purpose, even in the darkest times. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why. Frankl survived one of the worst tragedies in human history, the Holocaust. But what he discovered during that horrific experience has transformed how we understand suffering, resilience, and the search for meaning. So let's break it down in a simple way, step by step, and explore how you can apply these lessons to your life. Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist and neurologist from Austria. In 1942, he was sent to a Nazi concentration camp along with his family. Over the next 3 years, he endured unimaginable suffering, moving between multiple camps, including Auschwitz. His parents, brother, and pregnant wife were all killed. Frankl was one of the few survivors. But instead of becoming bitter or broken, he emerged with a powerful insight. Even when everything is taken from us, we still have the freedom to choose how we respond. Man's Search for Meaning is divided into two parts. The first part is a personal memoir where Frankl shares what he experienced in the concentration camps. The second part explains his psychological theory, called logotherapy, which focuses on finding meaning in life. Let's start with what he learned from life in the camps. Frankl describes life in the camps as filled with starvation, brutality, and hopelessness. Prisoners lost everything: freedom, identity, even their names. They were reduced to numbers. But through it all, Frankl observed something important. Not everyone gave up. Some people were able to hold on to their dignity, hope, and kindness. So what made the difference? Frankl realized it wasn't about physical strength or intelligence, it was about meaning. The people who survived psychologically were the ones who believed their lives still had purpose, even in the worst circumstances. Meaning is everything. Frankl wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." What does that mean? It means that if you have a strong reason to keep going, a sense of purpose, you can endure even the hardest situations. People who had a future goal, a loved one to see again, or even just a belief in something greater than themselves, were more likely to survive. Meaning gives us strength. Freedom of choice, even in suffering. One of Frankl's most powerful lessons is this: we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. He tells the story of how, even as a prisoner, he realized his thoughts and attitudes were still his own. While guards could take away his food, his clothes, his shields, and his freedom, they could never take away his inner decision to remain hopeful, to care for others, and to find meaning in suffering. What is logotherapy? After the war, Frankl developed a new kind of therapy called logotherapy. Unlike Freud, who believed people were driven by pleasure, and Adler, who believed we're driven by power, Frankl said we are driven by a search for meaning. Logotherapy is based on three core principles. 1. Life has meaning under all circumstances, even the most miserable ones. 2. Our main motivation in life is to find that meaning. 3. We always have the freedom to choose our attitude, no matter what life throws at us. The three ways to find meaning. So how do we find meaning? According to Frankl, there are three main ways. 1. Through work or creation. Doing something you care about, whether it's writing, building, helping others, can give life deep purpose. 2. Through love. Loving someone, truly seeing and valuing them, gives us meaning. Frankl often kept himself going by imagining conversations with his wife. 3. Through suffering. Yes, even suffering can be meaningful if we find a purpose in it. That doesn't mean suffering is good. But when we go through hard times and still grow, endure, or help others, it transforms us. Existential vacuum, the danger of a meaningless life. Frankl warned of something he called the existential vacuum, a feeling of emptiness that comes from a lack of meaning. He saw this especially in people after the war, but we see it today too. People feel lost, bored, anxious, or depressed because they don't know what they're living for. He believed many modern problems, addiction, aggression, even depression, often come from a lack of purpose. We don't need more entertainment or pleasure, we need meaning. Responsibility over happiness. Frankl didn't believe we should chase happiness directly. Instead, he said, focus on your responsibilities. Do what's right. Serve others. Pursue your calling, and happiness will follow as a byproduct. He wrote, happiness cannot be pursued, it must ensue. In other words, you don't find joy by looking for it, you find it by living meaningfully.